Welcome to a spirit animal message. And if tonight's your birthday, I'd like to start off by just saying happy birthday. For this reading, if you resonate to emerald green, success in new beginnings is the message. Emerald, the gem, the crystal emerald, is a great crystal to wear for protection, spiritual protection, as well as to be worn for to heighten your magnetism towards energy of receiving. The numbers 1010 could be significant. Ending of losses and heavy energy. 1111, new season of receiving. So we have elk, nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. I'm just looking at this card for a second. There's this, like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this line. I don't know, it's like almost like there's this energy flow from above them, and you can't really see it because it's very faint. There's this like line for this one and this one where it's like this energy flow from above them into them. So it's like energy flow. So you're in this grounded energy flow, and it's so, and the fact that it's so grounded, and I see how the baby one is like this heightened energy within it. It's almost like your inner child. Something that's going to affect children. Nobility, leadership, warrior, endurance, fertility, passion, grace, respect, strength, companionship, gifts, fulfillment. Energy that naturally demands admiration and respect, protective over children, family. So maybe perhaps there's been just a time of strengthening the protection around your family, around your inner self also, like your actual self. Perhaps, you know, there's energies out there trying to push your insides. This is also about your inner child. I just got that thought in my head. This is also in regards to your inner child. So it's like you're protecting your inner child right now. That's what it is. Okay. Kid protecting actual children too, in different ways. But when you protect your inner child, you are more balanced, so you can protect your loved ones. So if there's people that are really pushing you too far, it's like you have such grounded flow with the universe, and so does that inner child, because you've been doing the work. That energy isn't slowing you down. It's like you have this noble, steady pace about you, where it's like the way you move is, it may look slow. Like I feel like this elk, because it's got this heavy set of antlers, which is maybe an indicator of being very in tune to the different to different realms, or just different ways that we receive intuitive information, just to keep it simple. And then we have higher calling, Lion. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. So higher calling. I feel like you intuitively know that there's something that you're meant to do in this life. And it's like, it's coming in your ability to proceed in this stronger energy is being given the fuel it needs to progress ahead in a more progressive, consistent pace. Because this is like the steadiness, the strength. You see the masculine and feminine lion. The masculine facing straight ahead, and the feminine just kind of off, looking off to the side, like, yeah, I'm not gonna look directly ahead. I'm the one keeping eye on everything that we're not looking straight at. And then we have Swan, Grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. So before I go further with this, the lion higher calling, confidence, bravery, power, leadership, majesty, pride, patience, enthusiasm. You're a person that is given the task of protecting the pride, and especially the young. So it's like you're the leader. You're the one that's, people go to when they need something done, or like even your family. You're the one that people naturally perceive as one they can rely on, even if if there's any time where it's misperceived, it's quickly perceived with assertive, strategic, and strength, with this leadership energy as to what's the truth. And if they don't see it, then that's really not something you worry about. Okay, so we got Swan, Grace. Bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And the way that these two are I don't know why every single time that I've picked this up, the way that these two swans are together, it's like you're going to be having a very strong, intimate connection. it's like, it's got like true love energy, honestly. Because it's just the way, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, before I move on. The swan is this ultimate symbol for metamorphosis. Changing from a clumsy duckling to a natural beauty with grace. Within Celtic myth, swans represented the descent of the gods. So you could be connecting with different energies depending on what you connect to. Another is connecting to realms of angels, or for some, angles. Spider was this energy, weaving your life, an ability to become liberated. Visionary, rising above, able to see the right path, in tune with the universe. So you're starting out right away, your present position, with a gift or a wish being fulfilled. So this is your present position. So this is the energy that you're vibrating at. So you're bringing in right now in this present moment a wish fulfillment. And what I love about this is that this is the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. And we think about when Alice, comes to him and says, I'd like to be this or that. And she complains about, being a certain height. And then he, suddenly jumps up and says, what do you mean? Enjoy your present moment, basically. Why, he was so upset because he was like, it's better to be who you are in the present moment rather than think about having a change. And as he says that, in this firm energy, he suddenly transforms into a butterfly and is able to fly away. And then as he does, he's like, okay, since I can tell you're on a different path and you're not going to turn into your butterfly the same way that I am, your path is this is what you're asking of. There's a mushroom beside you. You can eat one side and it will bring you this path. You can eat that side. You can go to that path. Where, he accepted himself as he was in the present moment and even stood up for himself for who he was in the present moment. And because of that, he immediately transformed into a butterfly and was able to fly away. So it was like him being good within the present moment and truly, and even in a way where he was standing up for it, with him, his defense of the 3 feet tall, it gave him this immediate transformation, right? So he was immediately liberated, where Alice was left to continue this path of trying to control, what she needed to do to progress down this like maze or this incredible world, right? Where there was all these lessons that she was learning. What's crossing you is the Emperor. So the Emperor is this energy of stability, structure, power, authority, leadership, protection, the boss. This could also be, a fatherhood, ambition. We are all emperors is what I was leading to. Doing the best you can with what you have. And because now you have this wish fulfillment backing you up, and this emperor, I feel like you've already been embodying this energy as an emperor, perhaps, I don't know, leading in a business in some fashion, being the gift of you, basically. So it's like your work is a deep seated projection of an authentic form of yourself, and you've mastered this. Not you're working on a progressive path, because there's always more to learn and bring in and understand and overstand and all these things. However, you've reached a level of mastery. It's like you're almost there, is what I'm feeling right now. It's like you're not quite there. You're there. You're there. Okay. That's why you're bringing in this wish fulfillment. Okay. I just feel like there was something else. Be patient. What's to come will help reveal what this is in a whole way, is what I'm getting and what I'm feeling right now. It's like this embodiment of the emperor that you'll become. I think, and it doesn't matter, man or woman, whatever this is coming in for you, this energy, this what's crossing you is going to make more sense. It's you standing up for your passion and purpose also. You know, you're obviously a person that's been on a spiritual journey for some time, where everybody is, we're all on a spiritual journey. It's just some of us are more conscious of it, is a better way to put it. So you've been in a more conscious space about your spiritual journey by putting in that work to know thyself. So, let's see. I wrote spiritual and moral responsibility for yourself. Society lies with each and every one of us. Managing resources after a wish is fulfilled. So your destiny is this Wheel of Fortune. And I thought of the Wheel of Fortune when I saw it in the position that it's in. I thought of Master Manifester. That was my first thought when I saw it come out, is a person that's in this Master Manifester space. You have this understanding of this concept of we create our reality, and you know it in a way where you can teach it to others also. Or that's something that's something you're either doing now, or it's coming. Your ability to make that all that it can be is coming. Let me just see if there's anything else. Okay. There is not. In the distant past, you've been protecting and defending, and I think about this could be just parts of you through your life that you've had to protect and defend. Protecting what you know you need to. It's like you're standing guard over your reality. I feel like this is all, this could, each one of these wands could symbolize different things that you're standing guard over from an external source. So there's been an external energy that you've had to, in an unfortunate regular space, defend your inner environment as well as your external environment and all the things that you care about. Which has turned you sort of really hard on the inside, in a way. I think of this image of Humpty Dumpty, where, you know, we know the story of Humpty Dumpty. He would have these great falls or whatever, and all the king's men and all the king's horses would come to put Humpty Dumpty together again. I feel like, or that they couldn't. You know, I feel like I was thinking, having this thought today of, you know, when we break something when something gets broken, when it gets put back together, if we put it back together, even if we, you know, take patient, persistent, you know, nurturing attention towards it, when it gets put back together again, you still see lines, you still see, you know, where the damage was done. It's like you can't put it back together again the way it was before, because it's not the same energy anymore. It's been broken on a level. However, it was a release of what was holding a person back. Unfortunately, and it's not unfortunate, because clearly it was what's needed. You've, in this more recent past, have become this King of Swords with the Strength card. So the Strength card is this, you know, you've been using masterful instinct towards when somebody comes at you. Let's say if it's for the good, you know, you're also within this gentleness and patient and compassion energy with the Strength card. However, let's say somebody comes at you in a not so great space, you know, you're quick and smart to be able to use that authority within you to, it's like, you will not pass, you shall not pass my boundary, right? It's very assertive, it's very direct. With the Strength card, there is this inner standing of compassion towards a situation. So when you come out towards someone in that way, when you need to stand up for yourself, it does hold this grace within your words. However, it's very stern. It's very, if you have to scream it, you will, but it's so precise what you say that it actually, even if it's not in that direct moment, moments later, the individual feels what you've said. Moving into the future, you have this Hermit energy with the Lovers. And when this came out, I was a little confused, honestly, because I was like, the Hermit and the Lovers? Because I was thinking the Hermit is this very, you know, solitude energy, right? Introspection energy. Usually there's this energy of a light, you know, the Hermit man is holding a lantern, which within the lantern is the star. So through an introspection time, you know, it's leading to a birth of a star, really. And I think about how we have a masculine and feminine energy, which is what really comes into a more equilibrium when we emerge into that space of star. I just want to give two scenarios. Either this is you going and working, like there's this energy of possibly going on like a vacation of some sort and really giving yourself a deeper clearing within to gain deeper balance within your masculine and feminine energy. Because I said that also, I even wrote it down, going on a getaway to go over choices, connect to self-love and contemplation. So the other part of this was this potentiality of going away with someone that is this new connection. And it doesn't have to necessarily be romantic, but it definitely has this love connection but in it, and through a private getaway, I guess, or a private it's like somebody potentially coming in and bringing you somewhere to connect with you alone, and you getting clarity and just to know truth, to know greater wisdom, potentially. But what really was the strongest, honestly, and this is just what was the strongest energy when I was doing my notes, was going on a getaway to go over choices and a deeper connection to self-love and contemplation about your life moving forward. And a perspective card is the Knight of Pentacles. Which is this Knight of Pentacles, focused, goal-oriented, long-term abundance, steady progress, something prosperous coming in with divine timing, patience leading to prosperous results. And that's like the perspective. You've been patient and it led to an auspicious, prosperous result that's succeeded with the success surrounding it's like you've leveled up in this way financially, and it's got longevity to it with this Knight of Pentacles. So it's got this steady pace from here on out of this confident, prosperous energy. It's a new level of confidence within finances. in your environment is the Seven of Wands. And I feel like just this card, looking at it, it just looks like your environment has been chaos and you defending yourself no matter actually what. I think about how she's standing on that table. She looks like she's about to ninja out and get every single minuscule thing that is flying at her right now. Like, this girl slays the Jabberwocky, okay? So we know she's getting every single one. So that's your environment. Persistently, you know, able to deflect anything that comes your way that's trying to mess with your peace or wreck your peace in any way, because that is, you live in peace. And those energies that are trying to bring you out of that balance of peace, it's like you've been just, this is the environment that you've been dealing with. And I feel like that's the energy that you're moving away from. Because moving into the future, you've got the Chariot and the Page of Wands. And this is your emotions, how you're feeling moving forward into the future. You've got this Chariot and the Page of Wands. So there's this childlike energy. So this could be like your inner child. Your inner child with this freedom to explore feeling life is moving fast, childlike sense of adventure, inspired to take action, exciting time of new beginnings. So that's because this is how you're feeling. You're feeling excited about life. Your inner child is just this enthusiastic, ready to take inspired action with it, anything that comes your way. I think about a child in the world where suddenly, you know, they got the keys to the candy store basically. And, but in this case, you know, it's just whatever that store is for you. It's like you got the keys to your castle, the keys to you're getting the keys to your greater potential. And your inner child is the one, it's like perhaps your inner child had a lot of things that suppressed it all of your life, and now that's over. It's a little emotional. You must, because I feel the energy. So it's like, I even feel like the energy around me getting emotional. Like I can resonate to this energy myself. So moving into the future, what this came out upside down, and there is depictions of reversal for the Ten of Wands. I'm going to read it the way that I feel, that I sensed immediately when this came out, because this came out first, the Sun, and then this kind of fumbled out right after, and it was just like, from the way this reading has gone from the beginning to now, it feels like this is saying, this is what you're releasing, this is what you just released, and this is what you're moving into. And I even remember at the beginning of this reading, I said, ending of losses and heavy energy. said that, and I wrote that down before I had ever gotten to this point. And then it was leading to a new season of receiving. New season of receiving. Ending of the losses and the heavy energy, and moving into a new season of receiving. You made the right choices. So you're receiving the right gifts. The universe sees you. Remember, emerald green. And what is that emerald green representing? The heart chakra, right? Where is our inner child? Where do we connect to our inner child? Through our hearts, right? When you see people be themselves in this childlike way, where it actually continues through their lives, and they embody this form of themselves. It's this magnetic light around them, right? Because they've been able to hold on to a space within themselves that so many not lose, but have boxed into themselves through ignoring themselves maybe, and it's not always because they wanted to. It's a sort of trap of the eyes and the base senses and society and a lot of ands and ands. Usually it takes a pressure cooker to push us down paths that are meant for us. But when you take those moments gracefully and you work on yourself in the diligent way that you had, the results are the sun coming out. And I have a song. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. So just remember, the sun's coming out, and maybe even tomorrow. Let's do one more spirit animal card. It's already at 38 minutes. If you guys stay any further, awesome. If not, I'll be here. Whatever tradition or others expect of you, only to yourself be true. Boar. I feel like that's a great deal to do with who you've been embodying. It's like what others expected of you. It's like you were like this wild boar, and it was just like, nope. Because maybe those expectations came from people who were clearly either they just didn't have your best interests at heart. You could perceive that, not your best interests at heart. You could perceive that, or they were in lower vibrational consciousness. So their perception of the situation wasn't as clear as yours. So, those people got probably, to an energy where you were embodying this energy of wild boar, where you were just forging ahead. What are we doing there? That's not it. Consider the smallness of your needs and treasure what you possess. Consider the smallness of your needs and treasure what you possess. And I think back to that. I think back to the caterpillar. He wasn't worried about the future. He had no concerns of what was going on in the past. He was so present. And, you know, he was just like, what is your worry? Why are you running around, you know, trying to figure out this and that? Embody your presence. He's like, who are you? You know, who are you? He kept saying that over and over again. Who are you? And, you know, maybe that's something you've been asking yourself also, is this energy. Is you've been asking yourself, and maybe it's been looking like you were this sloth, where it was, some people can associate that to like laziness or just not moving about, not trying to progress at all, but just kind of in this like stagnation. I think that you were deliberately more still with yourself, and it was because you were reclaiming your nervous system, because the world itself had taken it from you. So you put yourself in a sloth space to shift your insides to a person that had the capacity to be more patient with yourself. I feel like you had cultivated a strong patience with the external world that maybe would waver with resentment, just because it was like maybe you were giving so much work towards balance within relationships, but it seemed like maybe that's what forced you within, because you were trying to perceive when it was somebody else and yourself, so that you could, because if you were being pointed out as the problem on a regular basis, you maybe had gone within yourself to just perceive clearly when it was somebody else or when it was you, just so you could say, you know, instead of that word, I'm sorry, you could be that person to say, I apologize, I will work on myself and do better. I'm doing the best that I can, you know, given the circumstances around me. You know, you can at least, you know, you can call on yourself when you perceive yourself to not being entirely balanced when it comes to how you meet a situation, but you can also hold compassion for yourself, and forgive yourself in moments where, you know, yourself gets razzled so far that, you know, you've had to stand firm and really, you know, protect your energy in a way where it lets people know, you know, you're not breaking me anymore. You know, this Humpty Dumpty is done. What's together again. There will be no more of what was before. Staying together, basically. All the king's horses and all the king's men did put Humpty Dumpty together again. Just that unfortunately, when they do that, or when they need to do that, Humpty Dumpty is not the same Humpty Dumpty anymore. Stronger, though. What was I about to do? Oh, I remember. I got some this rose on my dress. It's a really beautiful dress. I love this dress. I need to get it fixed though a little bit because it's big on me. It was the only one they had left, and I was like, well, I still want it even though it's the wrong size. I just have to fix it. This is the first time I've actually worn it though, and I've had it for a long time. I myself deal with challenging connections that are lifelong connections, whether I like it or not. So I say, you know, congratulations for staying strong this whole time. I am trustful in my relationship. Is it this one? Okay. I am trustful in my relationships. And if you see me do that, I can sense resistance or a little bit more ease with cards. And I've had moments where there was this pull to come back and get a new card. And it really, the card that ended up coming out was so in such a resonance to the reading that it was so clear as to why I was to draw again. And two had fallen out, and I'm only taking one, only because I read the entire passage. Take both. Okay. I am trustful in my relationships. I benefit with gratitude. So, I am trustful in my relationships. And I benefit with gratitude. I will try, and I know this has been a long video. However, it's been a beautiful message. And I'm grateful to get to do this. I am trustful in my relationship. So that's number 19, which is 10. And I think about how I wrote down 10. Wait a second. I benefit with gratitude. Two. Oh, wow. What is 11 when you add the 1 plus the 1? It's 2, right? And this is 1 and 9. 19, which is 10. 10, and then 11. And I said at the beginning of this reading, 10, ending of losses and heavy energy. 11, or you're moving into this new season of receiving. So 2 can be separated as 2 ones, 1 plus 1. 19. Okay, here we go. I am trustful in my relationships. Our personalities are forged from a dynamic combination of the natural disposition called forth from genetics and the nurturing of our families during the developmental ages of our youth. Nature and nurture walk hand in hand as we follow the path laid in front of us by experience embedded into epigenetics. Wow. I've been just really diving deeper into epigenetics. Sense memories become manifest from the tendrils of these experiences, which can either taint or tether our lens of perception and projection. Whether we realize it or not, we most often tend to see things as we are, not necessarily as they are. How we relate to the world is rooted in how we relate to our own nature and what we choose to nurture inside of our heart shimmers in the light we shine on the mask of personality chosen. When we are secure in ourselves, we can find security reflected back in the relationships we cultivate and allow. When we relate to our relationships with an intention of seeking vision within the fractal fragments of the greater whole, we can find and unite to a consciousness that sees and nourishes the interconnected nature of all. And the spider, something I read about, and a spider had spooked me a little bit. I didn't see it there, and it kind of just, I was about to sit down, so I wrote down about spider, and it spoke of the interconnected nature of all. Lakota tradition shares this concept with the prayer Mitakoye Oya Sin, which translates to all my relations, or we are all related, and honors the harmony that reverberates through every realm of consciousness and every walk of life. The Lakota cherish this prayer, their prayer, as a tenet of their cultural ethos. And this perspective is not something that is taken lightly. In applying the ideal of finding trust in relationships, we are reminded to trust that we are a microcosm of the macrocosm, a meta of the metaphor, a mirror of the one mind. Famed theosophical writer and one of the first to use the term New Age, Alice A. Bailey, also emphasized the notion of right human relations within her occult teachings. As a channel for the Tibetan master Djwhal Khul, she taught that meditation was the vehicle for students to imagine right human relationships by visualizing love and light pouring into all human hearts and minds. And the chariot is also a representation of the Merkaba, inner child and Merkaba. I don't know. When we feel insecure, we must remember that the tendrils we tend toward may reveal lessons in the tapestry woven. If we see a certain pattern that is a projection of pain, broken promises, or poor treatment, we must pause and meditate on what may be learned and how we may let this go so that a new design can emerge. Transmute tension with the power of breath, the beauty of awareness, and the security of knowing that time becomes malleable when we can relate to it in confidence. And let's go straight to, and this will be the last card. I benefit with gratitude. Okay, well, I have another idea. A grateful heart is able to navigate the waters of life afloat with the lightness of being, living in the present and feeling graciousness for every moment throughout the journey of life can be a challenge, but staying grateful through all the contrasts of living is what cultivates the spiritually adept navigator. Remembering the preciousness of time and understanding that there is a pattern, a geometry of the soul, even within perceived chaos, are the way to find order within the permanent impermanence of each experience. Nothing lasts, but nothing is lost. Seek the lesson and you will find yourself. We can allow time to weigh us down, to be a burden on our heart and mind, and ourselves to be victims of what we've been presented with, or we can seek the present, which is the gift of our story. If we allow time to be the author of our great epoch of breath through the ebb in life's tide, we can live in gratitude even during stormy waters. Okay, this is a Egyptian proverb. The seed cannot sprout upward without simultaneously sending roots into the ground. Gratitude is a gravity which can ground us, but when we carry a heavy heart, we become anchored in a vicious cycle of wondering about the future and worrying about the past. Let go and look up. Find the bliss in being here by staying rooted in the grounding of gratitude, holding on to onto a heavy heart. In the grounding of gratitude, holding on to a heavy heart will only drag your spirit down into an ocean of regret. Anything can change within an instant. Everything is constantly in flux, and nothing is guaranteed. When life is taken for granted, we live in a place of entitlement, and acting from this space is emitting an attitude that is less than ideal. Not one of us is entitled to anything. Not one of us is above the universal fabric of connectivity and consciousness. We are each but a single jewel in the infinite cosmic sea of gems. Not one shines brighter than the other. All is beautiful, all is perfect, all is divine. When one acts ungrateful, one becomes blind to the values of graciousness and falls victim to the traps that ego loves to set. Do you feel as though you are owed the world but not willing to work for it? Do you highlight your pain instead of shining a light on the darkness by keeping a grateful heart? Where is there room for improvement, and how can the 3 simple words, I am grateful, transform the space you are currently living in? Ask yourself why, ask yourself how, ask yourself what you will do to rectify this and how you will apply the wisdom of gratitude to the story of your life. It is time to reflect and to project a more grateful mirror to those you are closest to. And one more thing. Is a moon card. We're going to close it with a moon card. It is nighttime. So let's see what the moon has to say. Because as I was saying that the card was going to be the last card, these cards were going to be the last card, I got this hint of, do a moon card. And I was like, okay, I guess. Not even going to say anything. At the time, I was like, okay. Okay, prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. So everybody, I want you to just sit there and read that like 10 times to yourself. What does it say? What does it say? Come on now, what does it say? One more time, what does it say? One more time. Okay, now 3 more times to yourself. Hold the vision, remaining grateful in the present moment. I think of, how we can have vision boards about what we'd like to bring in. Say if you're having trouble with making that vision within your mind consistently, so you're reminding yourself throughout the day in this kind of way where you're still living your life in the present moment, but it's maybe just playing in the background or just in some position where you can see it. Make a vision board and put it somewhere where you can see it. However, it doesn't really matter, because whoever's coming to this, you're in resonance to a wish fulfillment that's like coming tomorrow, potentially. So remember, the sun is coming out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar. Well, have a beautiful life. Live in peace. And thank you so very much for coming and listening to my readings. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me about yourself. You can ask me questions if you like a private reading. Feel free to let me know in the comments, and I can give you the information as to how to do that. Aside from that, have a beautiful life.